The Medici. The Medici were not only a very powerful family that ruled parts of Italy for a really long time, but and also very brutal family, but they also started the Italian Renaissance through the intersection of different disciplines such as arts, philosophy, and technology. And that's where we got all those, a city like Florence that uh, is lush with art, with buildings, with knowledge that was built out of there. And the way the family had fostered that over the years was it challenged. It challenged artists, it challenged scientists, it challenged musicians there. And even if they are, had a challenge out there, and they felt that the projects or the suggestions that came from artists, from scientists, from architects were not meeting the standards, they waited. They waited. They did not give the contracts. They waited until people came up with more daring ideas and with bigger art. So what they had installed was actually a way to attract people and to come forward with ideas and to react on that. And that is something that normally in companies we don't really have. We we need something like an innovation procedure, yeah, like a set of proper reactions as in any other situation. Such, we have procedures for emergencies, we have procedures for sexual harassment or for other things that are happening. We just don't have one that says, uh, "I have an idea. So what next? What do we do now? Yeah, how do we react to that? So how can you set something up? Now, we have emergency training, we have emergency kits, but we need something like an urgency training. Yeah, we need an innovation training for that. So when an emergency happens, it's already too late. We can only react and try to clean up the damage. So when innovation happens, we can act up front. But for that, we need training. So most companies have a kind of a playbook, yeah. So they do everything in that list. Often they come to Silicon Valley to learn about that, and then they do that. They train a lean startup. They do ideation challenges. They transform or try to transform the culture. They partner with startups. They invest in startups. They acquire startups. They go through Silicon Valley and visit. They partner with an accelerator. They launch an accelerator. They start a lab in Silicon Valley, and still they fail with innovation um, because they did not understand of how to tie it all together, and that actually it's not an effort that requires everyone to participate and do, but start give smaller teams a chance. Let's take a look at as one of these skunk work projects that Lockheed Martin did, and they basically named it skunk work, yeah, or you may call it submarine U-boat project, or the side project, or pet project, or under the radar project, whatever it is in your company. For Lockheed Martin, it was skunkworks. And what they did is they had a small team of change makers. They were the edge of the organization, not somewhere in the center, very visible, but at the edge. So nobody bothered with them. Yeah, they gave them the autonomy and freedom to explore. They protected them from bureaucracy. It's very easy to throw all the bureaucracy and all the forms on them, what they have to fulfill. They had a direct line to the CEO, to an executive. They did rapid experimentation, iteration, lean. Yeah, the smart failure was encouraged. It means when you fail, learn from that and try it again, but now with the learnings. And they were, scrappy and externally focused. They were looking at what people did outside, what they wanted, uh, and iterated quickly on that. And they were successful with that. Disruptive innovation is really, really hard, and often companies don't want it. Yeah, companies focus primarily on short-term return. That is something that's unfortunately a trend that has stifled uh, this discovery innovation, that has only brought basically efficiency innovation. Uh, we have a low tolerance for risk and failure. That means we don't want to risk anything. If failure happens, that's the worst thing that can happen. We have incentives that promote failures, that promote success, and failure is punished. We actually need to promote and reward failures if they are smart, because then you have risked something. And if you are smart, you learn from that. There is a slow and consensus-driven decision-making in companies. If you need 500 people in order to make a decision, I go to a company where I can directly talk to the CEO and make a decision. Yeah? There's no clear definition ownership of innovation. We realize that ideas are very easy, but the execution conversation is the hard part. There's often lip service, red tape, all these obstacles in between, and there are these corporate antibodies that kill us. And that's why we fail. Now, an innovation drive in your company, as an innovation driver in your company, there are a couple of things that you can do. You can establish an innovation forum series. That means regularly invite to innovation talks and invite external people. You will identify this way people who are interested in that, and your partners in crime, those who are coming regularly, who have suggestions. Those are the people that you want to pull into these innovation community. That this way you also create and foster a community that allows you quite some exposure. You find this way peers and executives become aware of those initiatives, and they may sponsor you. Yeah? Invite external innovation leaders from other companies, because if you're the innovation lead in your company, well, you're the prophet in your own country that nobody listens to. But if you bring your peer from another company, your own employees will come, your co-workers will come and listen to them. Keep a positive attitude. Yeah, make it feel exciting all the time. Make it feel this. When you're here, you want to be here, because this is where the action is happening, where the future is happening. Yeah. Advice, the way you coach entrepreneurs, innovators, people with ideas, is not so much in judging stuff, but in telling them, did you try this? Yeah, give them, ask them if they tried stuff, if they have talked to this person, not you should, you must, you have to, or this doesn't make sense. Don't talk like that. And make it a habit. Do it consistently and regularly, all of those that were before. Now, innovation engagement models, the traditional models that we know is R&D labs and trend scouting, but the most recent engagement models that we've seen is from corporate venture capital investing into startups, for example, to building startup programs, working with startups, doing contests and hackathons, and doing co-creation, co-innovation with partners, with customers. These are all good ways, but of course, in order to do it well, you need to understand it, and you need to test it out. You need to fail with some to understand better and better of how this is going to work. So here are some ways how you can help entrepreneurs. Let them work on their projects. People are more motivated to work on their own ideas. Don't take that out of their hand and hand it to somebody else to do that. No, let them work on that. Coach them, but do not judge their work. Get them sponsors. Find executives who should react like we've said, that they are positive, have a positive attitude, connect them, network them. Also have a budget at hand where you can buy small things. We had this problem back then that we wanted to test Microsoft Kinect when it came out. Now, Microsoft Kinect in a business software company is a toy. It's not business relevant, but we don't know if we have not tried. So it failed on just getting a budget of $150 to buy a Kinect. So people brought their private ones. So make sure that you have this kind of budget to buy small things that people can think and experiment with. Give them tools and platforms to find and connect resources, which what I mean is community software, online software forums where they can use that internally. Have something available. Do not look at the most sophisticated and most expensive things. Often small free platforms are more than sufficient, and forget about data privacy and all this kind of stuff, and starting with that, because then right away you start killing that. And also give those entrepreneurs of yours forums for exposure to a larger audience. Have regular webinars where you invite the whole company. Do innovation salons or quarterly meetings where they can demo stuff. Yeah, and don't forget, ideas can come really from everywhere. This can come from your technical department. This can be software developers, can be a salesperson. This can be a secretary that comes up with this idea, and you need to get them in and treat them the same. So program elements include quite a number of things. This is basically an overview, like people that you need to bring in, events that you want to host, tinker shops and spaces where they can try out stuff, a budget for buying a Kinect, give them time, give them also metrics, measure that, and we'll learn more about metrics later on, an executive sponsor, and open them up to the networks. Now here's this task again, now with a little difference. You see this tire? Here's an old tire. Now, here's the change in the sentence. Imagine you're a 7-year-old child with nothing to do. How would you use this tire? Find as many ideas of how to use the tire as you can and write them down below. And I give you again 2 minutes.